Good morning. It is Monday, November 3rd, 2025. It is almost 11 a.m. on the East Coast, and we have an eventful Monday morning in terms of news flow, especially news flow in the gold and silver mining sector. So, Coeur has announced the acquisition of New Gold in an all stock deal valued at approximately US $7 billion. So this is one of the biggest M&A transactions in recent years across the precious metals mining sector. And Coeur has been very acquisitive. So this company has grown from what was previously like a $600 or $700 million market cap, small producer or mid-tier producer before 2020 to now the combined entity will be close to a $20 billion market cap, and gold equivalent annual production in 2026 is expected to be roughly a million ounces, or actually a little more than a million ounces. They say here 20 million ounces of silver, 900,000 ounces of gold, and 100 million pounds of copper. They also have some lead and zinc byproduct credits as well. All in all, I believe that Coeur can now officially be deemed to be a senior producer. Okay, so that's a big deal. And why does this deal make a lot of sense? Well, there's a lot of synergies, between these two companies, and obviously from a G&A standpoint, they can cut a lot of that corporate overhead, save money there. There's some operational synergies as well, and I think this kind of spells it out: higher margins, significantly lower overall costs, and projected to generate $2 billion of free cash flow in 2026. And I think a lot of other companies are looking at a deal like this and saying, how can we generate synergies like that and get more economies of scale and just get bigger, right? Because it's not only about the operational and corporate overhead side of things, it's also about the capital market side. So when you get bigger, you get included into more funds, you get a higher allocation from those ETFs and mutual funds and hedge funds, and you lower your overall cost of capital. And that just makes you a more efficient company. So I think this is really the name of the game here in 2025. The M&A cycle is in full steam and actually accelerating. I just put together about 10 deals that came to mind here in 2025. Obviously, we started big with Goldfields going for Gold Road in Australia, Pan American Silver acquiring Mag Silver, $2 billion plus deal. Had a little bit of a quiet period there during the summer, especially in August and September. Obviously, Newmont and Barrick continue to divest their non-core assets throughout the year, such as Hemlo, CC&V in Colorado, Coffee in Yukon, et cetera, et cetera. And now in October and now early November, it's accelerating again. In just the last 4 deals, you can see the ticket prices are increasing. The trend is up: 261 million, 375 million, 780 million. Those are Canadian. And now this morning, US 7 billion. And what's cool about these 3 deals here, there's a cash component. Actually, this one is all cash and this one is all cash. There's a cash component to this one as well. Put it all together, you're talking about over $1 billion of cash is going to be injected into investor brokerage accounts over the next couple of months as these deals close. And that money tends to get recycled across the sector. So that $1 billion is going to be looking for where to go next. Where's the next acquisition? Where's the next place where my money will be treated best? So let's try to figure it out. I put together some ideas. What really comes top of mind for me in terms of M&A target areas: senior producer. So Coeur is now in the top 10 in my book, especially for North American investors. Globally, it's not a top 10 in terms of annual production, but in North America, publicly traded companies, it definitely is now. I think it's number 9 or number 10. Obviously, Newmont number 1, Barrick number 2, and Agnico number 3. So where to next? So potential M&A candidates. So these are the first 4 that really come to my mind as what could be next. The Yukon. The Yukon has had a terrific 2025. I don't think a mining jurisdiction, there's not another mining jurisdiction out there that's had a better 2025 than the Yukon. Obviously, Snowline would be the top one, the top takeout target, but that's a big ticket target. That'll be a $2 or $3 billion deal. That would most likely have to be done by a senior producer. Now, look, a mid-tier might be able to pull it off, but I say a senior producer is much more likely. So it narrows down your possibilities. Could it be Agnico? Could it be Newmont? Could it be Barrick? Or maybe, like an Anglo Gold Ashanti or a Goldfields? Maybe, right? There's maybe 5 names that could really pull off that deal for Snowline, but more likely would be a smaller transaction, maybe Hecla. Okay, you got Hecla watching Coeur become a senior producer and make all these deals. Well, what's Hecla doing? Maybe Hecla consolidates that area around Keno Hill. We call it the Mayo Mining District of the Yukon. Banyan Gold would be the top of the list as a potential takeout candidate there. Another one that comes to mind would be Sitka Gold. So let's watch what happens in the Yukon. I think it's quite likely there will be some M&A there over the coming months. Next one would be Finland. Finland is definitely a tier 1 mining jurisdiction, definitely top 10. It might even be top 5. Some people think it's the best gold mining jurisdiction in the world. Rupert Resources, right? So it's not common, okay? It's actually very rare in 2025 to have multi-million ounce gold deposit that is open pittable at relatively high grades in a tier 1 location as far as rule of law and infrastructure, labor force, power, et cetera, right? Well, Rupert definitely checks a lot of those boxes. And if a big producer goes for Rupert, RUP on the TSX, they're going to go for Aurion, AU on the TSXV. That's another story for another video, another article. But just my opinion, those 2 assets will go together because it makes the most sense for somebody to acquire both of them, put together the entire property package, and receive all the synergies from the combined property package, right? So Finland, definitely very strong candidate for M&A in late 2025 or throughout 2026. Colombia, Collective Mining. Obviously, we have Agnico already as a 15% shareholder in Collective CNL on the NYSE and TSX. And this is the sort of asset that is really unique just in terms of location, in terms of the infrastructure, the ore bodies, making new discoveries almost every month at the Guayabalas project. So I think Collective's got to be up there in the top 5 in terms of global acquisition targets. And obviously AEM is in pole position there to potentially be the suitor on that one. And then the final one, and this might be a little controversial. I know there's some people that don't agree with this take, but I think Newmont, the biggest gold producer in the world, is going to make a go for Barrick's North American and actually all of their assets across the Americas. So South America, Caribbean, Central America, and North America. And then the Pakistan stuff and the African stuff will be spun out or just auctioned off as sort of non-core to Newmont. I believe that there will be a deal made here. Newmont making a move for Barrick, especially the NGM assets, especially 4 Mile. And that will be huge news for gold mining investors and the sector if it happens. So those are my sort of top 4 areas that investors should focus on and watch over the next 6 to 12 months as this M&A cycle across the gold mining sector continues to heat up. Enjoy your week and have a powerful trading week. Thanks for watching.